Have you ever felt like life is a script already written? The people you meet, the pain you endure, somehow, none of it feels random. Some lift you up, others break you down, but strangely every single one leaves a lesson behind. And what if I told you, you chose all of it, before you were even born? Your soul knew exactly what was coming, and still it said yes, for one reason only: evolution. In this video, I'll share a truth you've always sensed, but never dared to name. A truth that might just make you look at your entire life, and finally realize, nothing was ever meaningless. The soul chooses everything before rebirth. Earth is not random. It's a school for the soul. You didn't land on this planet by accident. Earth isn't a playground. It's a classroom. A place where your soul came to learn. But unlike any school you've known, you didn't choose your subjects after you arrived. You chose them before you were even born. Before you had a body. Before you even had a name. In your most awakened, purest form, your soul sat down with guides, mentors, and other souls. Together, you crafted a plan, not for success, not for fame, but for evolution. You chose your family, along with the pain and lessons that came with it. It sounds ironic, doesn't it? Why would anyone choose a toxic family, a cold father, an absent mother, or a childhood full of wounds? Because your soul didn't come here to play it safe. It came here to heal. A soul that wants to learn unconditional love may choose to grow up in an environment where love is rare. A soul that wants to master inner strength may choose a family that constantly doubts and limits them. Your family is not just where your story begins. It's where your first lessons are planted, not to define you, but to awaken you, so you can rise from your story and become the author of a new one. You chose your romantic partner, not with the mind, but with the soul. Long before your eyes met theirs, your soul had already recognized them. Not all love stories are meant to last forever, but every soul connection carries a purpose, a deep one. That heartbreak, you chose it. That soulmate who lit you up, then vanished. You agreed on it. Even that unrequited love that left you restless. It was part of the contract. Because soul contracts aren't about happy endings. They're about growth. That one person might come into your life to teach you vulnerability, trust, forgiveness, or how to let go with grace. You chose them, and they chose you. Not to complete you, but to reveal you. You chose your biggest challenges as accelerated lessons for soul growth. Why do some people experience intense loss, betrayal, illness, or struggle? Because not all souls sign up for the easy path. Some souls want to evolve faster, so they choose the hardest courses. Just like a gifted student might opt for the most advanced class, an old soul often chooses the roughest roads. To transform faster, to awaken deeper, and to reach higher levels of consciousness. When you look at your pain this way, you stop being a victim. You remember, you signed up for this, not because you're broken, but because you're powerful. Major life events are scheduled, but you still have free will. Accidents, breakups, sudden moves, job losses, moments that seemed random and chaotic. Many of them were pre-planned. Your soul placed key markers along your path. Moments designed to wake you up, realign you, or push you forward. But here's the twist. You still have a choice. You can take the long route or the shortcut. You can resist or surrender. You can learn through joy or through pain. The outcome is destined. The journey is yours. The soul contract, an invisible agreement that shapes every relationship. There's no paper, no signature, but the soul contract is real. Before you came here, you sat with other souls and said, "You'll be my mother, the one who teaches me forgiveness. You'll be the one who breaks my heart, so I can learn to love myself. You'll challenge me to wake up." And they said yes. They agreed, out of love, not cruelty. Because in the realm of souls, there are no villains, only allies wearing difficult masks. The more painful the role, the deeper the contract. Your life is not a maze. It's a mission you designed. You didn't get dropped into this world blindly. Your soul knew exactly what it was doing. Every detour, every mistake, every loss is part of your soul's curriculum. You may not remember the plan, but your heart does. That quiet pull you feel, the synchronicities, the coincidences, they're nudges, reminders. You are not lost. You are being guided back to yourself. Closing, you are not a random being. You are a soul with a plan. You're not a mistake. You're not off track. You're on the exact journey your soul chose, with precision, with wisdom, with courage. So when life hurts, don't ask, why me? Ask instead, what am I meant to learn? And when it feels too heavy to carry, remind yourself, I chose this because I am ready. You're not just living a life, you're completing a mission your soul signed up for, long before you ever took your first breath. Karma is a learning system, not a punishment. The truth about karma, not divine wrath, but soul-driven growth. When life throws you into pain you can't explain, you might ask, why is this happening to me? The answer isn't punishment. It's not some cosmic judge handing out penalties. It's because your soul is learning something it deeply needs to understand. Karma isn't a weapon. It's a mirror reflecting what your soul still needs to experience, accept, or transform. Karma is a feedback system for soul evolution. In the physical world, every action creates a reaction. You throw a stone into a lake, and ripples form. In the soul's realm, the principle is the same. Every action you take, good or bad, sends out energy. And that energy doesn't disappear. It loops back, not to punish you, but to offer you a direct experience of your own impact, so you can grow. So you can remember who you truly are. Hurting others in a past life, you may now feel the same pie. Some heartbreaks don't make logical sense. You give your heart to someone, and they betray you. You're kind to the world, and life brings you harsh people. You're not cursed. You're simply a soul, in the process of balancing old energy. Perhaps in another lifetime, you caused similar pain to someone else. And now, you're not being punished, you're being given a chance to feel, to empathize, to understand deeply what your previous actions created. And through that, you become wiser, more whole, more human. Karma is not about good or bad. It's about awareness. Karma doesn't care about morality the way we do. It doesn't label things as good or evil. It only asks, have you learned yet? You could spend a lifetime doing the right things. But if you're acting out of fear, guilt, or ego, the lesson is still incomplete. The universe doesn't demand perfection. It demands authenticity, that you align your choices with your true self, not your fear-based programming. Karma repeats until you wake up and break the cycle. A lesson will repeat itself until you learn. A type of person will keep showing up until you respond differently. A pattern of pain will continue until you stop, face it, and say, no more. Awareness breaks karma. You don't need to suffer endlessly. You just need to recognize the message behind the chaos. Forgiveness is the shortcut to dissolving karma. You don't need to endlessly pay back your karma. There's a faster path. Forgiveness. When you forgive someone who hurt you, you're not saying what they did was okay, you're saying you won't carry the weight anymore. When you forgive yourself, you send a signal to the universe. I understand. I've grown. I'm ready to move forward. That's the real karma resolution. From victim to student. The shift that changes everything. You can live your whole life feeling like a victim, or you can look at your pain and ask, what is this trying to teach me? That single question shifts everything. It turns you from someone life happens to, into someone life happens for. You become a soul on a mission, no longer reacting, but choosing. You stop just surviving. You begin awakening. Your first family and your partner were never random. You didn't just arrive here. You chose everything. Maybe you've spent years thinking your life was a series of random events. that you were born into your family by accident, that your struggles were unfair, undeserved, or meaningless. But the truth is far deeper than you imagine. Before you were born, your soul chose this life. You chose your parents. You chose your childhood environment. You even chose the wounds, because they hold the exact lessons your soul came here to learn. Not because you deserve pain, but because through these experiences, you begin to remember who you truly are. Family is the first test of unconditional love. Your parents may not have been perfect. Some of them may have caused you pain. But from a soul level, that pain wasn't punishment. It was a carefully designed awakening. Sometimes, the people who wound us the most deeply are souls we once wounded. Other times, they were souls who loved us dearly, now returning in new forms to teach us love again. Through challenge and contrast. Family is not just blood. Family is a soul contract. It's a classroom where unconditional love is tested in the most difficult forms. Lovers, soulmates, twin flames. These meetings were always destined. You've probably felt it before. That moment when someone enters your life, and everything inside you shifts. Your heart recognizes them before your mind can make sense of it. They're not strangers. They are old souls in new costumes, walking with you through lifetime after lifetime, playing different roles in the grand story of your evolution. That soulmate you can't forget. That twin flame who broke you wide open. They've been here before, and they're here again, because your growth is tied to theirs. Twin flames, the mirror you can't escape. Among all soul connections, the twin flame is the most intense, because they don't come to comfort you. They come to shatter your illusions. They reflect every wound you haven't healed. They pull up the deepest insecurities you try to hide. They force you to confront yourself, not out of cruelty, but out of sacred necessity. You may love them deeply, and hate them equally. You may crave their presence and dread the storm they bring. But through them, you awaken. You begin to heal. You rise, not because they save you, but because they trigger your transformation. And sometimes, after the fire, you come back together stronger than ever. And sometimes, the fire was the only thing meant to happen. No encounter is random. Every soul plays a role. Even brief encounters carry divine intention. That friend you lost touch with. That stranger who said the exact words you needed to hear. These are not coincidences. They are spiritual nudges, placed in your path to realign you, teach you, or redirect you. Some people come to break your heart, so you can finally rebuild it yourself. Others come to lift you, when you've forgotten your worth. Every person is a message disguised as a relationship. The bigger picture. See your relationships through the eyes of your soul. Next time you find yourself frustrated by your parents, confused by a partner, or devastated by someone's absence, pause. Ask yourself, what is this soul here to teach me? What am I being invited to release, to evolve, to remember? Because your soul never makes mistakes. It only sends you the exact souls you need. In the exact moments you're ready. For the exact growth your spirit longs for. There is no chaos here. Only divine choreography. Hidden beneath the layers of heartbreak, connection, and timing. And when you're ready to see it, you'll realize that every meeting was a sacred agreement, written long before you were born. What happens after death? The space between lives. Death is not the end, it's a doorway. When your physical body stops breathing, your soul doesn't vanish. There's no burning hellfire, or fluffy cloud paradise, like the stories say. Instead, you awaken in a realm of stillness so deep, you can hear the vibration of your own soul. This isn't a dream. This is the space between lifetimes. The realm where reflection begins. The soul review, witnessing your own life. There's no judgment, no punishment. Just you facing the truth of who you've become. You don't just watch your life like a movie. You feel everything. Not only from your perspective, but from everyone you've ever affected. Did you hurt someone? You'll feel the depth of their pain. Were you careless with someone's heart? You'll feel it shatter, as if it were your own. But also, did you show kindness when it was hard? That love will radiate back through you. Did you forgive when others expected revenge? You'll feel your soul bloom. This is how the soul learns, not through punishment, but through empathy. Reuniting with spirit guidist. After the soul review, you're not left alone. Your spirit guides, beings who've walked with you for lifetimes, appear. They don't scold you. They don't preach. They simply ask one powerful question. Now that you understand, what do you want to learn next? Because your journey isn't over. You still have more to experience. Together, you and your guides begin crafting your next life, your lessons, your challenges, the people you'll meet. Planning the next life. You are not randomly thrown back to earth. You choose your parents, your culture, even the tragedies. Each choice is precise, designed to give you the right environment for growth. You may choose to experience betrayal, loss, illness, not because you deserve pain, but because through it, something sacred will awaken in you. If you hurt someone in a past life, you may live through similar pain now, not as punishment, but as a way to understand, feel, and heal what was once left unresolved. You may even make soul contracts, sacred agreements with other souls, to meet, to challenge, or to support each other along the path. And then you read her. Once the plan is ready, you say goodbye to the spirit world, a realm where you remember who you truly are, and you fall into a new body. You forget everything, but somewhere deep inside, a whisper remains, a feeling that you've always known more than this. And so, the journey begins again, a new life, a new chance to remember your soul. How to escape the cycle of reincarnation is not punishment. It's the soul's classroom. You're not trapped in some cruel cosmic game. You're enrolled in the most advanced school there is, the school of the soul. Each lifetime is a classroom. Each experience is a lesson. You don't come back because you're forced to. You return because there's something left unfinished, a wound unhealed, a truth unlearned, a pattern unbroken. There's no shortcut, no skipping grades. You can't escape the cycle by denying the world. You must walk through it. You must love where you once hated. Forgive where you once resented. Face your deepest fears, of loss, of death, of your own ego. You must feel it all, understand it all, and finally, let it all go. Karma, not a sentence, but a mirror for understanding. Karma isn't a punishment. It's a reflection. When you hurt someone in a past life, you might feel that pain in this one. Not because you're being punished, but because your soul wants to understand what it means. When you experience what you once caused, you grow in compassion. You become more conscious. And when you respond with awareness, instead of reaction, karma begins to dissolve. Meditation, the doorway back to your inner light. We are constantly distracted by money, status, relationships, opinions. But liberation doesn't come from the external. It begins with inner stillness. Sit, breathe, observe. Watch your thoughts rise and fall. Watch your emotions come and go. And soon, you'll begin to see. You are not your mind, not your pain, not your past. You are the presence behind it all. The silent light, observing everything. Healing and letting go. You can't ascend with heavy luggage. You can't fly if you're still carrying the past. Unhealed trauma, old grudges, emotional attachments. They weigh you down. They tether you to this realm. Healing isn't about pretending the past didn't happen. It's about facing it, embracing it, and saying, "Thank you. I've learned now. I'm ready to release it." When you forgive yourself and others, you start shedding the karmic layers. Remember who you truly are. Pure, eternal light. You're not your body, not your name, your job, or your painful history. You are soul, infinite, luminous, and free. And the moment you remember that truth, Fear begins to dissolve. Desire loses its grip, and you feel something sacred. Freedom, not the freedom to run, but the freedom to simply be. Enlightenment, when the illusion no longer binds you. When you awaken, you don't win reincarnation. You transcend the need for it. You may choose not to return, or you may choose to come back, not to learn, but to guide. To be a light for others, still walking through the fire. To be a reminder that we were never lost, we just forgot the way home. If you're still here, listening to these words, then maybe, just maybe, your soul is ready to remember, not to escape this world, but to understand why it chose to return. Every dream, every pain, every connection, was never random. They are keys waiting for you to unlock the door with you. And when you become quiet enough to truly listen, you'll realize the truth was never out there. It's always been here, beating inside your own heart. In the next video, we'll step into the space between lives, where the soul rests, heals, and plans its next incarnation. But before we go there, ask yourself, have you truly started listening to your soul's calling?